Hello everyone. So today we are going to start with exercise 1.3. Hope all of you have gone through our previous video where I have explained the concept and examples related to this particular exercise. So those who have not gone through that video, I will recommend please first go and watch that video and then come here and look for the solution. Okay. So what I will do, I will just provide the link of that video in the description section below, so you can go and you can refer that. Okay. So let's start. So first question is saying that the write the following decimal form and say what kind of decimal expansion each has. Okay. So here is your question. So what we will have to do, how we are going to find the decimal expansion? So there is only one method, which is you'll say division method. Okay. So by a division method, we are going to find the decimal expansion of each number. So first number is your beta 36 upon 100. So what you will do, you will simply divide 36 by 100. So how will you divide? So you can see it's 36. You will put one decimal over here, one zero will come here, then it will go three times. Sorry, let me repeat once again. Okay, so it will go three times. So this will give you 300, and then it's 60. Then one zero will come and it will go six times. This is 600, and ours comes to 0. So what's the answer? Answer is your 0.36. So 0.36 is what kind of decimal expression? So see guys, there are only two kinds of decimal expression in this scenario. So because what you are seeing, these all are the rational numbers. Why they are rational numbers? Because we know if they are all written in the form of p by q. So only we can write rational numbers in the form of q, not the irrational numbers. So we know all these are rational numbers, and the rational numbers are having only two kinds of your decimal expression. One is your terminating one is your beta terminating, and another one is non terminating and repeating, non terminating or and repeating. Okay, so you guys already know this. So we know ki out of all these six questions is going to give me answer, either it will be terminating or it will give me non terminating and repeating. So what is this? This one is your terminating, correct? So why terminating? Because it's completely divisible and I got the remainder 0. So that's why it's terminating. Let's solve the another question. Another question is your 1 by 11. Okay. So I will just write it over here. I will divide 1 by 11. So I will put one decimal over here. It will come 0. Then again I can see that 10 is not divisible by 11. So what I will do? I will just add one 0 here and add one 0 here. So it will go 9 times. Correct? So if it will go 9 times, what I will get? I will get 99, and again I will get 1. So since one decimal is already there, so I can put 1 0. Again 10 is not divisible by 11. So what I will do? I will put 1 0 over here and I will put 1 0 here. So it's 9, and again it's 99. Okay. So what's my answer? Again it's 1. So what you are seeing, it's started repeating. So I can write this like is equal to 0.09 bar. 0.09 bar, and what kind of this is? This is your non-terminating and repeating decimal. Understand? Any doubt you guys have? Okay. So if anyone of you having any doubt, please feel free to ask your doubts in the comment section, and I will reply to your doubts. And also you can send me an email to info@rapidgyan.com. So I will reply to your email, guys. Okay. Next question is your third question, which is saying 4 is to 1 by 8. Okay, so it's 4 is to 1 by 8. So this is in the form of beta mixed fraction. So mixed fraction. So first I will have to convert in the simple fraction. So this will 8 4 is 32 plus 1, 33 upon 8. 33 upon 8. So now we will have to divide 33 by 8. So 8 4 is 32. It's 1, then I will put one decimal over here, it's 0, then it's 8 1 ja 8, I'll get 2, decimal is already there, 0, 8 2 ja 16, I will get 4, decimal is already there, I will get 0, and then 8 5 ja 40, and it's completely divisible now. So since it's completely divisible, so what will be my answer? My answer will be 4.125. That's my answer. And what kind of decimal expression? This is a terminating decimal expression. Okay. Now I will go to the next question, fourth question, which is 3 upon 13. So we will divide 3 by 13. So we know it can 3 is not divisible by 13, so we will put one decimal over here and we can put 10 over here. So how many times it will go, beta? It will go 2 times, correct? So 13 to ja 26, correct? So it's, I will get 4, decimal is already there, then it's 4. After that it will go 13 3 ja 39, then it's 1 and 1 I will put 10. So again 10 is not divisible by 13, so what I will do, beta? I will put 10 over here and 10 over here, then it's 100, so it will go 7 times because 13 7 ja 91 and my remainder is 9, decimal is already there, 10 will come, then it will go 6 times, 13 6 ja 78, correct? Here I will get 2 112, decimal is already there, 120, then again it will go 9 times. So if I will go 9 times, what I will get? 39 ja 117, and what will be my remainder? 3. What you are seeing, beta? Now my remainder is 3 from where we have started. Okay, so as soon as you will get the remainder from where you have started, you will have to stop there, because after that your answer will start repeating. So my answer for this will become 0.230769, and this will be repeating. So what kind of decimal expression is this? This is non-terminating and repeating. Okay, let's solve the next question, which is your 2 by 11. So I will just go on the next page. So, and I will write over here 2 divided by 11. So how it will go? So first I will have to put decimal over here, then here, then it will go just by one time. So this will 11, I will get 9, decimal is already there, so it's 90, 8 ja, so it's 88, and it's 2. So what's my remainder? Now see, you can remainder is 2 from where we have started, so we'll have to stop here. So what will happen? This will start repeating itself. So my answer is 0.18. So I can write it over here. It's 0.18 repeating. So what my answer? Non-terminating and repeating. Understand? Now the next question is 329 upon 400. Let's solve that. Come here. So 329 divided by 400. Okay, so as we can see, 329 is not divisible by 400. So what I will do, I will put one decimal over here and I will put 10 over here. Okay, so it will go now 8 times. 4 8 ja 32. So this will be 3200. What I will get? 90. Decimal is already there. I will put 10. Now it will go 2 times, which is your 800. Remainder is 100, decimal is already there, it's 0. Again it will go 2 times, so it's 800, I will get 200, 10 because decimal is already there. Now it's 5, I will get 2000, and now my remainder becomes 0. So what's my answer? 0.8225. So I will write here, not here, here. My answer for this is 0.8225. And what kind of decimal expression is this? This one is your terminating decimal expression. Okay, so that's your first question. Hope everyone understand this. Now we will go to the next question. What is your next question? Your next question is this one. You know that 1 by 7 equal to this. Can you predict the decimal expression of 2 by 7, 3 by 7, 4 by 7, 5 by 7, 6 by 7 without actually doing the long division? And if so, how? Okay, we will see. So come here. So it's given that 1 by 7 value is over here. So write your 1 by 7 is equal to 0.142857. After that it's repeating. So what you will have to find next, beta? You will have to find 2 by 7, correct? So you remember in the last video I have explained 2 by 7. What you will do? It's simply 2 times 1 by 7, correct? So you will have to multiply 2 times 0.142857, and if you multiply, what will be your answer? Your answer will be 0.285714, correct? So that's your answer. Similarly, for 3 by 7, you will have to do the same thing, 3 times 1 by 7. So if you are going to multiply 3 with 142857, your answer will be your 0.428571. Okay. Now for 4 by 7, it's 4 times 1 by 7, which will give the answer. Guys, I'm just direct writing the answers. Please make sure that you will go and you will do this by multiplying it by yourself. So it will be your 0.571428. Okay. For 5 by 7, you will get 5 times 1 by 7. So what you will get? You will get 0.714285. If you are going to multiply by 6, so it's 6 by 7. So you will have to see 6 into 1 by 7, which will give you an answer 0.857142. So that's it's a simple, very simple multiplication. Just you will have to do the multiply. So one thing in this question you will have to keep in mind, like whenever you are doing the multiplication, so what you will have to check, how many digits are there in this repetition string. So how many digits are there in this? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So there are 6 digits. So just remember one thing, whenever you are going to divide a rational number and that your division is non-terminating and repeating, so means the decimal expression of that rational number is non-terminating and repeating, so the repetition string will have some number, correct? So in this case the repetition string is having total 6 numbers. So this is the total count of the numbers present in the repetition string will always less than your divisor. So what's your divisor over here? Your divisor is 7, means so this 6 is less than 7, you can see. So this I have told you in the introduction part also, that whenever you are going to, I am going to repeat again, whenever you are going to find the decimal expression of a rational number whose decimal expression is non-terminating and repeating, so the answer which you will get, so that answer will have a repetition string which will repeat after certain digits. So the total number of digits present in the repetition string will always be less than your divisor. Okay, that's a maximum number you can get is 6. You might be possible that after 3 digits or after 4 digit or after 5 digit it will start repeat. Okay, but it will never cross the divisor. It will always be less than the divisor. The same thing you will have to apply over here. Whenever you are multiplying with either 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, you will have to ensure that the repetition string cannot have more than 6 digits, because in every case your divisor is 7. So it means repetition string cannot have more than 6 digits. So that's one thing very important, you will have to note it down. Okay. Now we'll move to the next question. What is your next question? It's here. Express the following in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. Okay, let's solve this. We have already solved this kind of question in while doing the examples of this exercise. Anyway, so we'll solve it again. So beta, what I have told you, if you remember, whenever you will have to represent this kind of non-terminating and repeating decimal expression in the form of p by q, so what we will do, we first see that how many digits are repeating. So what you will have to do, first step, assume x is equal to 0.6 bar. Okay, what is the next step? I have told you, next step is check how many digits are repeating. So how many digits are repeating in this case, beta? Only one digit is repeating. It means you will have to multiply both side by 10. So it's 10 into 0.6 bar. So this will become, beta, 10x is equal to, what will happen if you are going to multiply with 10? So this 0.6, beta, I can write like this, na, 0.666 and so on. So if I will multiply this with 10, so what I will get? I will get 6.666 and this will keep going. So this I can write that 6.6 bar. After that, what I have told you, if you guys remember, I have told you that now you will have to split this number in two numbers such that their sum will become 6.6 bar. So how you are going to split? So I have told you, in order to split this number, you will have to divide your x from this number. So what will happen if you are you will have to subtract your x from this number. So it's 6.6 bar. If you are going to subtract 0.6 bar from this, what will you get, beta? You will get 6, correct? So this I can write 10x is equal to 6 plus the number which you have subtracted. So means 0.6 bar. Understand? Now what is 0.6 bar, beta? 0.6 bar is your x. So I can write 10x is equal to 6 plus x, which will give me 10x minus x. This x will go this side, so it will become negative. So 10x minus x is equal to 6, means 9x is equal to 6. So x will become 6 upon 9, which is 3 2 ja 6, 3 3 ja 9. So that's 2 by 3 is your answer. Understand? Good. So now we will solve the next part, which is 0.47 bar. Okay. So again here also what we will have to do, first step, assume this x is equal to 0.47 bar. Okay. Now how many digits are repeating? You can see, but here also just only one digit is repeating, which is 7. Not all the digits. Only one digit is repeating. Sorry. So what you will have to do? This you will have to multiply again both side by 10. So 10x equal to 10 times 0.47 bar. What will you get if you are going to multiply this 0.47 bar 10 times? So see here. So this is 0.47 bar. I can write it like this, that it will become 0.4777 like this. Correct? So if I will multiply this with 10, what will I get? I will get 4.777 like this. I can write it. So this I can write here, beta. 10x is equal to 4.7 bar. Now next step is that you will have to split this number. So how you are going to split this number? I have told you that you will have to subtract your x from this number 4.7 bar. So in order to subtract this, you will write 4.7 bar minus 0. Okay, let me rub it, minus 0.47 bar. Now see, now how you are going to subtract this? So see, beta, it's very simple. This 4.7 bar is what? 4.7 bar is your 4.7777, correct? So here you are seeing the number which you are subtracting, that's having actually like 2 digits after decimal. So we will try to make 2 digits in the numerator. So what this will become? So can I write this, beta, like this? 4.77, and then I will put this bar. Yes, I can write this like. So what I will do, I will simply write this 4.7 bar in the form of this. So this will become 4.77 bar. Understand? Now subtract it. So this 7 bar minus 7 bar will be 0. 7 minus 4 is your 3. This is 4. So what I got, beta? 4.3. So this 10x, I can write it in this form, that 10x is equal to 4.3 plus what? Plus the number which you have subtracted. So which number you have subtracted? 0.47 bar, correct? So what is your 0.47 bar? 0.47 bar is nothing but your x. So I can write it like this, beta. 10x is equal to 4.3 plus x. Now this x will go on the left hand side. So this will give me 10x minus x is equal to 4.3. So 9x is equal to 4.3. So x will become 4.3 upon 9. So can you say that this 4.3 upon 9 is the form of p by q? No, we cannot say, because in the form of p by q, it's clearly mentioned that p and q are integers. What's mentioned? P and q are integers, but here you are seeing 4.3 is not an integer. So what you will have to do, you will have to convert this into integer. So in order to convert this, what I will do, I will simply multiply numerator and denominator by 10. So my answer will become 43 upon 90. That's my answer. Understand, guys? Good. Let's go and solve the next question. Next question is your 0.001 bar. I will solve it. Okay. Hope you guys understand. You will be able to solve this by yourself. So next question is 0.001 bar. Okay. So what you will do, first step, assume this, that okay, x equal to 0.001 bar. Now how many numbers are repeating? 3 numbers are repeating. So 3 numbers are repeating means you will have to multiply by 1000 times x is equal to 1000 times 0.001 bar. Okay, so this will become your 1000x is equal to, now see how, what will you get after multiplying by 1000. So can I write this, your question like 0.001001001 like this, and if I am going to multiply this with 1000, what will I get beta? See, decimal will move to 3 digits after, so this will become my 1.001001 and so on. So I can write it like this, 1.001 bar. Understand? So this can be written 1.001 bar. Now next step is that you will have to split this number. So in order to split this number, what we will have to do? We will have to subtract your question from this number. So if you are going to subtract 0.001 bar, what you will get? This will give me 0, this will also I will get 1. So this I can write over here that 1000 of x is equal to 1 plus 0.001 bar. So what is your 0.001 bar? 0.001 bar is your x. So 1000 x is equal to 1 plus x. Now this x will go on the left hand side. So this will become beta 1000 x minus x is equal to 1, which is 999 x is equal to 1. So the value of your x is become 1 upon 999. That's your answer. Now you can see 1 upon 999 in the form of p by q, correct? So that's your answer. Let's go to the next question. Next question is this one. Express 0.9999 in the form of p by q. Are you surprised by your answer? With your teacher and classmate, discuss why the answer makes sense. Okay, let's solve this question. So here is your question. So again you will have to express this. So this is what beta? This is nothing but your 0.9 bar, correct? So again we have just solved this. So x equal to 0.9 bar. You are seeing only one digit is repeating. So I can write it 10x equal to 10 times 0.9 bar. So what will give 10 times 0.9 bar? So this will become 10x equal to 9.9 bar. Now what you will have to do? Next step, you will have to split this number. So in order to split this number, you will have to subtract your question from this number, means 9.9 bar minus 0.9 bar, which will give me 9, correct? So I can write this, that 10x is equal to 9 plus 0.9 bar. What is your 0.9 bar? Your 0.9 bar is your x. So 10x is equal to 9 plus x. This x will go on the left hand side. So 10x minus x is equal to 9. So as a result, 9x equal to 9, and now x is equal to 9 upon 9, which is your 1. Wow. Now see, what you are getting? You are getting that 0.99999 is equal to 1. Okay, so of course, are you surprised by your answer? Yes, we are surprised by your answer, because 0.9999 cannot equal to 1, but my answer is coming 1. Okay, so these are the few questions which we get in the maths where our logic simply fails, but it's fine, you can write it. So yes, we are surprised by your answer. So actually 0.9 bar is not exactly equal to 1, but I can write 0.9 bar is almost equal. So this is like equivalent to 1, which is almost equal to 1. So that's it. Let's go to your next question. So here is your next question. What can the maximum number of digits in the repeating block of digits in the decimal expansion of 1 by 17? Perform the division to check your answer. Okay, let's solve this question. So your question is saying that we know that this 1 by 17. So what is in the denominator? In the denominator is your prime number. 17 is your prime number, beta. Okay, 17 is your prime number. So whenever we are going to divide the 17 by prime numbers, so any number by prime number, so we are never going to get like, especially if that number is not completely divisible by 17 itself. Okay, so if you are going to divide that number, so you will always get a non-terminating and repeating decimals. Okay, means if a rational number in the form of p by q, where p by q is your co-prime number. Remember, co-prime number, I have told you, co-prime numbers are those numbers whose common factor is always equal to 1, correct? So here p upon q. So and in that case, if q is your prime number, in that case if q is your prime number, so your answer is always going to be non-terminating and repeating. So this thing just remember. So now what's the question is saying? Question is saying what can the maximum number of digits be in the repeating block? So how you are going to solve this question, guys? Remember just now when we are solving the second question where of 1 by 7, this question. So what I have told you? I have told you that in the repetition string, the total number of digits will always be less than your divisor. So that's your answer over here, beta. If you see, what's the maximum number of digits be in the repeating block of digits? Repeating block of digits means, so your divisor is 7, so you can say that total number of digits, let's write it here, that total number of digits, okay, total number of digits in the repeating block, well, all the maximum, not total, the maximum. Okay, because I will tell you why. Because so the maximum number of digits in the repeating block will always be less than 17, will always be less than 17. So what's the maximum number? So the maximum number will be your 16. Maximum number will be your 16. That's your maximum number. It doesn't mean that you will get exactly 16. It might be possible that you will get 14, 15, like this, but the maximum number is 16. You cannot have more than 16. Okay, so and if you are going to divide, so now it's your job to divide 1 by 17. I am not going to divide 1 by 17 over here, but if you actually divide, so you will get 0.05882352941176447. Why I am not going to divide? Because this video will become longer if you are going to divide. So I am assuming you guys know how to do the division. So if you will divide, beta, you will get this number. After that it will start repeating. So let's count these numbers. What's your counting? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So your maximum number is 16. It cannot have more than 16 because this total count of the digits will always be less than your divisor, so that's your answer. Okay, beta, let's go to the next question. So your next question is this one. Look at the several examples of rational number in the form of p by q, where q is not equal to 0, where p and q are integers with no common factors other than 1 and having terminating decimal representation. Okay, can you guess what property q must satisfy? Okay, let's solve this question. I will explain. So here is your question. So look at the several examples. So let's take few examples. Okay, so which will in the form of rational number in the form of p by q, where q is not equal to 0 and p and q are integers with no common factor other than 1. So let's take first example, like take 3 by 8. Okay, another example we can take 1 by 2. Then I will say, okay, let's take 3 by 4, take 25 by 10. Okay, and then take 35 by 10. Okay, so these are the few examples. Let's solve this. So what's the first condition? They are saying that p and q are integers. Yes, in all the 5 examples they are integers. Okay, and then they are saying there should be no common factor other than 1. So in the 3 and 8 there is no common factor, in 1 and 2 there is no common factor, in 3 and 4 there is no common factor apart from 1. In 25 by 10, yes, 25 by 10 is having some common factor. What's the common factor? The common factor is 5. So if I will further divide it, if I will further divide the numerator and denominator by 5, what will I get? I will get beta 5 upon 2, correct? Come here, this is also having a common factor 5, so if I will further divide it, I will get 7 upon 2. But I will get 7 upon 2. So now you can say 5 by 2 and 7 by 2 are not having any common factors. Okay. Now let's find its decimal expression. I will just take one more example. I will just simply take 1 by 14, and other one I will take, like say any number, just think 7 by 6. Okay, so I will come why I have taken these numbers. So 3 by 8, let's solve 3 by 8. So if you solve beta 3 by 8, so you will get 0.375. Okay, that's your terminating decimal. If you are going to divide 1 by 2, so what will you get beta? If you are going to divide 1 by 2, so you will get 0.5. Okay, if you are going to divide 3 by 4, you will get 0.75. If this you are going to divide, you will get 2.5, and if this you are going to divide, you will get 3.5. But at the same time, if you are going to divide this or this, okay, so your answer will be non-terminating and repeating, and in this case also it will be non-terminating and repeating. If you want to check, just go ahead, divide it and check it. Okay. So what you are seeing, these are the few examples which we have taken, and now we will have to analyze the property of Q by looking into these examples. So in all the cases, so let's write the Q value over here. So Q is, in the first case it's 8, in the second case it's 2, then it's 4, then it was 2, then again 2, then in this case it was 14, and in this case it was 6. So these are the values of Q. So this 8 bit I can write 2 cube, this 2 also I can write like 2 to the power 1, this I can write 2 to the power 4, this I can write 2, this also I can write 2 to the power 1, okay, and well, let me write it 1 properly, it looks like 21, sorry, okay, so this will become 2 to the power 1, this 14 I can write 2 times 7, this 6 I can write 2 times 3, okay. So what's the thing you are saying? That you are saying the numbers which are your terminating, which is giving your terminating decimals, the numbers which are giving a terminating decimal, they all have only 2 in this. But the other number is having, like see here, apart from 2, 7 is also there. Here apart from 2, 3 is also there. Okay, and this number, this 2, like in this case, why I have taken 25 by 10, now I will explain. Okay, so suppose this 25 upon 10 is your like in the question it's not given that the common factor should not have 1. So this 25 by 10 also we can solve. So this you can see, so actually if you are going to do the prime factorization of 10, what will you get? The prime factorization of 10 will give you 2 times 5, correct? So from this, take the analysis. So analysis says that you will be studying this particular in more detail when you will go to the 10th class. So here what's your analysis is saying? Analysis is saying that if, so see all these factors, everywhere I can write 5 to the power 0, correct? Everywhere I can write 5 to the power 0. Why I can write 5? Why I am writing 5 to the power 0? I will tell you. But 5 to the power 0 is equal to 1, means any number to the power 0, 5 to the power 0 is equal to 1, means any number to the power 0 is equal to 1. If I will write 7 to the power 0, that will also give me 1. But at the same time, don't write 0 to the power 0. It's not going to give you 1. Okay. So anyway, this is not in your chapter, so I will not study it over here. Okay. So the conclusion, now I will come to your conclusion, because this is a very vast topic and we will be keep learning on this topic in your next classes. So the simple conclusion is that if Q, means if your denominator is having 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m, where n and m are your whole numbers, where n and m are your whole numbers. So just write it down, that can you guess the property of Q? So the property of Q is saying that if Q is equal to, see here, I am not saying that 2 and 5 will have, Q is equal to 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m, where n and m are your whole numbers, then the decimal expression of the rational number will be terminating decimal expression. Okay, but apart from 2 to the power n and 5 to the power m, if you get some other digits like 7, 3, like in this case, because see, here also, but I can write 5 to the power 0, here also I can write 5 to the power 0, correct? So this will give me 2 times, like 2 to the power 1 times 7 to the power 1 times 5 to the power 0. So here apart from 2 and 5, 7 is also coming now. Here also if you see, apart from 2 and 5, 3 is also coming. But what the Q is saying? Q is saying that if only 2 and 5 are there, then the decimal expression of that rational number will always be the terminating, otherwise it will be non-terminating and non-terminating and repeating. Understand? Okay, let's go to the next question. So your next question is this. Write three numbers whose decimal expansions are non-terminating and non-recurring. So guys, this is very simple question. So let's solve this. So write three numbers whose decimal expansion are non-terminating, non-repeating, non-recurring. It means what they are asking, they are asking to write three irrational numbers, correct? They are asking to write three irrational numbers. I have told you, beta, just write anything. Like say 0.01, 001, 0001, 00001 and so on. So see, it's non-terminating, non-repeating. Another example, take anything like 0.233232333 and so on. This is another example. Another example, take 0.5665665666 and so on. So these are the three irrational numbers. Or you can also write, beta, I have told you that square root of prime numbers are also irrational numbers. So you can also write it like this, that square root of prime numbers are also your irrational numbers. So here, but what you will have to, they are saying that write three numbers whose decimal expansions. So you can either write this or this, both are correct. Okay. Now what's your next question? Next question is, okay, how many questions are there? So 8, 9. So that's it. Only two questions has left, 8, 9. After that we will study this chapter, this particular topic, representing real numbers on the number line. So this I will be explaining you in the next video. So please guys, make sure to subscribe the channel and make sure to like press the bell icon. Why I am saying to press the bell icon? Because as soon as I will go and upload your next video on this topic, representing the real numbers on the number line, you will receive the notification that next video has been uploaded, so that you can plan your study. Or if you want to study it then and there only, then it's fine. Or you can plan, okay, new video is available, I will go and I will study. Okay, so 8th question is, find three different irrational numbers between rational numbers 5 by 7 and 9 by 11. If you guys remember, we have already solved one example similar to this. Then we will solve it here also, that find three different irrational numbers between the rational numbers 5 by 7 and 9 by 11. So what you will have to do first? First you will have to convert this into decimal expression. So 5 by 7, if you convert this into the decimal expression, so you will get 0.714285. Guys, I am not going to do the division. Please go and do your division. Okay, so you will get 0.714285. Anyway, I will do it. But this, guys, please make sure to do this division by yourself. So this is 7. So 5 is not divisible. So this is 0. I will put 0 over. Then 7 7 ja 49. Then I will get 1. Decimal is already there. 0 7 1 ja 7, it's 3, decimal is already there, it's 0, so 7 4 ja 28, and then it's 2, it's 0, 7 2 ja 14, then it's 6, 0, 7 8 ja 56, then I will get 4, 0, and then 7 5 ja 35, and then I will get 5. So now my remainder is 5, and this is what my question 5. So I will stop it. So this is, see, 0.714285. Similarly, if you are going to find the value of 9 upon 11, so 9 by 11 value is your 0.81, and after that it will start repeating. So what you will have to do, beta, you will have to simply find three irrational numbers between 0.71 and 0.81, 0.71 and 0.81. So write it anything, beta. So any number which is greater than 0.71 and less than 0.81. So I will take this 0.72 7 2 2 7 2 2 2 and so on. And in this case I can write 0. Another number, just take 0.76766 and so on. Next will be 0.78788788 and so on. So that's your answer. Okay. Now let's go to your next question, next and last question. Last question is ninth one. Classify the following numbers as irrational numbers. Okay, let's solve that. So these are the numbers. So classify the following numbers irrational or irrational. Okay, so 0.23. So we know that beta 23 is your prime number. 23 is your prime number. So square root of a prime number is always an irrational number. So this I can directly write as irrational number. Okay. Next one is okay, we'll solve second part again. So this, let's solve the third part. Third part is 0.3796. What is this? This is your terminating decimal expression. Terminating decimal expression. So terminating decimal expression means this is your rational. This is your rational number. This is 7.47847. So what you are seeing, beta? This is 7.478 repeating. So this is your non-terminating and repeating. So if it's non-terminating and repeating, it means it's a rational number, correct? So let's go to the fifth part. So fifth part is your 1.101001000. So this is your beta non-terminating and non-repeating, non-terminating and non-repeating. So this is your irrational number, correct? Now if you go to the, now come back to the second question. Second question is beta under root 225. So let's first solve 220, find the square root of 225. So factorize it. So it will go by 3 times. So 3 7 ja, 3 5 ja, then again it will go 3 times, it will give me 25, then it will go 5 times, then it's 5, then it's 5 times, it's 1. So what I'm getting under root 3 times 3 times 5 times 5. So if I'm going to find the square root, so my square root will be 3 times 5, which is equal to 15. Means after solving under root 225 I got 15. So 15 is your rational number. 15 is your beta rational number. So that's it from this exercise. So this exercise is over. In the next class I will be teaching you guys representing real numbers on the number line. Okay, so please go subscribe the channel, turn the notification on, so that if I will go and I will start doing the as soon as I will upload the next video, you will receive the notification that your that the next topic has been uploaded, so that you can go and you can watch that video. And also if you guys are having any doubt, please ask your doubts in the comment section, or you can send me an email at info@rapidgyan.com, rapidgyan rapidgyan.com. Okay, thank you.